Had a really exciting opportunity to try the new Boss Fly Lines competition spey line, and we're gonna go down to the casting ponds and do some more casting and give you a little review.
Okay, I had a chance at the Clearwater Spey Clave to try this new Boss competition spey line. It was fabulous. Real straightforward, easy to cast. I'm out here at the casting pond with Nate, Whiteman Runs Him. Nate won a cookie 2 weeks ago at the Redneckorama at Poppy's Clearwater Spey Clave. And he did that with this new Boss competition line. You did a 150-foot cast, I think?
Yeah, with the wind. I think John got it with a 159 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, all three of us were probably within 7 to 9 feet of each other.
Yeah.
With a nasty headwind.
Yeah, that wind was not helping anybody. But it was pretty cool. Tell us about this new Boss line that you were casting with.
Well, the biggest thing that kind of turned me on about the whole thing is I like the color blue. Blue is kind of my favorite, so that was an eye pleaser right there. But the second thing is, Gene and Greg and Brian, they're all guys I was looking up to, and I'm a big supporter of friends and helping them get their business going. And to top it all off, this line is just super user friendly.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, the stuff is durable.
Yeah.
We were out on the river a couple weeks ago and had a new time long belly caster working with us. He was working trout around here for quite a while, and he jumped on this just kind of
and he was just cracking
it like a bullwhip. And I was in the back of my mind, I was thinking the end of the line is going to be all frayed up.
Right.
And I was grinding my teeth, but he was having a pretty good time. He was on it for about 15 minutes, and when he gave me the rod and he wasn't looking, me and another guy went down and inspected the sucker, and the line didn't show anywhere of signs anywhere. It's almost if you didn't know any better, the texture on it feels like a fishing line that you could probably cut down and go into clear water and start jacking out 90-foot casts.
So how did this is kind of beside the point, but how'd that guy get along with it the first time?
He was kind of the point where he was at in his fishing and casting style was mainly just 12.5 footers, scandies or skagits. He'd never touched anything beyond 12.5 foot. His lines primarily were in the 30-foot range, but he picked this up and it took him about 4 or 5 casts, and he was putting out some decent loops. And so we put another guy on it who fishes, but he doesn't do any comp stuff, and he was jacking out nice loops.
Is that right?
So I'm convinced that this line is pretty user-friendly right off the spool.
Yeah.
It's kind of the ballpark that I'm digging right now on this Bruce and Walker.
And that's the Bruce and Walker Spey-O-Rama.
That's right, yeah.
Tournament caster. Yeah. Nice. So would you recommend this to a guy brand new starting out who wanted to do his first spey
I definitely would, because anything beyond what you're able to cast now is only going to get better once you get your timing and all the logistics of your cast put together appropriately. It did win down at the Red Shed. It got first place by John, and I was second place. I think did Brian place second or third down at the SOR?
Oh, he was second in the open wins.
Yep. So, and the other two guys were using the Gale Force. So, and I think that was a prototype.
Yeah, the Gale Force are great comp lines, and I think this is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I like it. This one, I got to use it a little bit, and it seemed real straightforward. And I think what's it cost new? $150?
$150 MSRP.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and there's not really a market out there, so you only get, unless you're going to make your own line. I mean, this is very user friendly, and it's pretty easy on your pocket too, compared to for what you get. and how long it could potentially last. I think Gene was talking like he still had his line from the San Francisco and he's still casting it.
Does he fish with that on the Clearwater?
I don't know, but as soon as
Good.
they come out with fishing lines, he says they're coming out with fishing lines. I'm gonna grab up a handful of them. If it's anything like this comp line.
Bam.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. Nice.
I mean, now what happens? It can only go back so far, right?
Okay, right.
So focusing everything on that meat of the hand, so that, I mean, unless you're really flexible, I mean, my wrists are pretty beat up, but that versus all that movement,
Right.
I just kind of, it makes sense for
So,
me.
so if you're throwing the pie,
Yeah. You know,
you're circling around.
you got your cork in your hand, you pick up, you're locked, you rotate with your sweep, and then you drift up with
Okay. So that'll keep you from basically dipping your rod tip back in your.
Well, that in conjunction with what's your bottom hand doing, right? You come through and yeah, you might get your pie up, but then you put too much in the bottom end of the cork. Now, where's your rod tip as compared to where it probably should be, right? Up here versus.
Right.
Unless your casting style is based around that super V, D loop on the back end, all that energy. I mean, if you can work with it and get it forward, I can't. I got more of an open D versus, you know, Zach Williams or Tommy's, where it's to a point you could probably cut a piece of paper with the back end of that D loop.
Nice. Nice. We're watching Nate's hands, seeing how relaxed he can keep them throughout the cast. Nice. So you feel like you get your strongest cast with the most relaxed.
With a relaxed grip, yeah.
Okay.
Because if you're, you know, like when I was rodeoing, the more relaxed you were, the more in tune with you were feeling what was going on underneath you, right?
Right.
But if you got a big gorilla grip going on, well, then you got this muscle working on the fist, and you got your biceps working on your forearms, and you got your chest working on your shoulders, and you got your core holding your chest up. I think the more relaxed you are, I think the more you are with being consistent on your timing. And plus, it's cool when someone next to you is looking at your cast. Most of your casts are going out, and you're just looking like you're putting minimal effort out.
Yeah.